What is up, ladies and gentlemen? It is your friendly neighborhood BJJ podcaster, Raphael Ferreira. We had an incredible finish to the PGF, but here's what's going on right now. Hoffa's going to join us right after the opening credits, and then we've got Maka, we've got Dom Mejia, and we've got your winner from tonight, one Jett Thompson. Do not go anywhere. Welcome to the official PGF post show. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the official post show. We are sitting here right next to a standout, an individual who was killing it throughout the season, gave us some of the most memorable moments, and arguably Mr. Moneybags of the season, a man who was no stranger to getting money thrown at him. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the show. How you doing,
How's it going?
sir?
It's good to see you.
Hey, it is a pleasure to see you fresh off of all of this.
Yeah.
What are you feeling right now in this moment?
Oh, in this moment, that's hard to explain. You know, there's a lot going on because, you know, it was a great run, but it's not over, and it's never over. So I'm always getting ready for the next thing. Usually my schedule is pretty full. Even if it's not jiu-jitsu, I got other stuff going on. But at this point, I'm traveling tomorrow. EBI's on Friday. So kind of like, you know, still at war, you know, not really time to celebrate, not really time to rest, still pretty focused, and my focus is having a lot of fun all the time. So honestly, I mean, it's going to be different than other people. I'm enjoying life. I'm having fun. I'm having a blast. I always am, but still focused, still with intention, I guess, is what it would be. You know, I tend to, when I relax, I really let just whatever happen. Right now I'm focused. You know, I left here, I went straight home to eat. You know, I usually fast while I'm competing. So went straight home to eat, coming straight back. It's like work. This is like a job, you know, coming back. And then tomorrow, cold plunge, sauna, flying to Texas, got to eat again, big dinner before, you know, another day of fasting, and then we're back at it again. So having fun, having a blast, but focused. It's still razor sharp.
I want to ask you about this process because there were so many times when I would walk by you and you had a position like in a warm-up area where you were on the ground. It's like you get in your meditation, you get in your breathing, and you get right. Like, how long does that process take, and what does it involve?
Yeah, so I really had a rigorous, you know, warm-up beginning routine, and then, you know, I've come across some different philosophies, like you don't ever need anything. So, I mean, I think everything's always within you, and searching outside of yourself is really an illusion. You know, if somebody convinces you need something outside of what you have inside, I don't think that's true, you know, and that's what I've come to believe in my personal philosophy. So to this point, it can be a 2-minute warm-up or it can be an hour warm-up. But generally, here's what I like to do. I guess you could consider it like an art form. The same way I don't have to compete jiu-jitsu, right? It's just for fun. This warm-up is just for fun. It's just part of the experience. First, I like to, you know, kind of, how would you say it, settle everything, right? And I'll do this at home as well, especially if I feel, you know, we all get stuck on our phones. We all get lost sometimes, feel a little icky, I would say. And so I'll do the same thing. So I'll focus. I have a couple anchors, if you've ever heard of NLP. Usually, you know, good vibes. I'll tell everybody around me that I love them. You know, I really appreciate being here, get into a state of gratitude. Then I'll play some music just to kind of get into a more relaxed state. And then I'll do a breathing, Wim Hof breathing. I'm not sure if you've heard of Wim Hof, but it's about 30 breaths fully in as much as you can, and then you just let out what comes out. And that oxygenates your body. And I'll typically, in a competition day, do 5 rounds of that. And after about 30 to 50 breaths, you let it out, and you can hold your breath a surprisingly long time. I mean, with enough practice, I've held my breath for 2 minutes and 15 seconds
That's impressive.
With no air. And to me, that really just gets the body ready. You know, I feel very relaxed. It gets you into a deep state of focus. It is a form of meditation, the same way jiu-jitsu is. When you really get deep into the sport, you feel that focus that I'm talking about, right? And you feel that flow. So I love to do that to get into flow. And then right before my first match, I'll do a pretty intense warm-up. So I'll put some music. I have a few favorite songs. But really any music that just gets you amped up, whatever feels good, I think is what's important. And I'll just run and skip and jump, and, you know, that's a lot of the legs. So I tend to try to get my arms involved, shake it out. And then after that, I just listen to music and really get into the vibe of the music. And the most important thing is to not be attached. You know, sometimes you want to like finish the song or like you don't know if you need to take it out. Just don't be nervous. Just like get into that flow. And when you're ready to get on the mat, just keep that flow. You know, keep that energy going. So.
Remarkable to hear. By the way, I don't know that you got to meet Tim. I know you were kind of talking with him off air. I know Tim had a few questions for you as well.
Yeah. Speaking of getting into how you feel, can you kind of talk me through what was going through your head in your first match against Dominic Lobo? You guys both come out hot.
Yeah.
You're both dangerous. You both have all kinds of attacks you could throw at each other. You ended up in a nice exchange. You came out on the better side of the heel hook attack. Got the finish. But what are you telling yourself in those moments when you're slipping in between danger and attack and danger and attack? What's the mantra then?
That's where I live. That's what I really live for, is to like get out of things and barely survive. That's what I love. I just started school, and you know, I'm still living at home, and so coming into the match, I've actually, you know, I kind of have really been in my own head on this last week, and that kind of didn't feel good. You know, putting pressure even on the PGF, you know, taking things way too seriously. So coming into the match, you know, I was trying to work with my mom, trying to get everything straight, and it, you know, kind of still that stuck feeling. I did all my rituals, and I knew that I was going to perform well. But when everything really clicked, you know, I did the work, I had the knowledge, I was ready to change and move on, you know, and be excited again, which is, I think, when I do my best work. And I think it's truly when anybody does their best work is when you're passionate about something. And the minute Dom threw up that triangle, I said, oh, man, like, this is what I live for. It's like a game of tag, you know, it's to be hunted. And the minute that happened, I was like, you'll never get me. And that's kind of been something I've said this whole season. The only reason Christos got me is because I didn't have time to think you'll never get me. He got me too fast, you know. But if you let me sit in there, I'll say you'll never get me. And that's, you know, to me, that's a win. I think, you know, if this guy can't catch me and I can get out, like I will slip. You can't hold me. And that's truly what I think. And I just think I live for this. And then I got out of that, and I got a catch on his heel, and I said, I don't know, this is kind of loose. And typically, it's really interesting. The submissions that I catch the most easily are these submissions that are kind of loose, that seem like the guy's probably going to get out, but I don't force it and I don't let go of it, if that makes sense, right? So I had a bite on his heel, and I was kind of configuring my legs, ready to transition to the next thing, and I feel like it just didn't feel dangerous for him until it was, you know, and then everything got locked. It was a similar thing with Zach Schneider with that Anaconda. It was going to be the same thing with, it was just a little quicker, but that's how I got a spinning heel hook. A lot of my submissions come from this kind of, you know, like it's just creeping up on you, and you just keep rolling the dice, and eventually everything's going to settle.
Can you talk about, you know, so typically the PGF was a 1 week season. It got stretched out over multiple weeks. How difficult is it to kind of keep the mind going in the right place week in and week out, if maybe you're not seeing the results you want, or you're having, you know, some ups and downs in your personal life? A lot of things happen in a week that can impact you. Can you speak to that challenge?
You want the long answer or the short answer?
I want
the short answer, but how about the happy medium answer?
There we go.
Yeah, man. I'm ready for war. I was excited for a week. You know, I was like, PGF's a week? That's my jam. I was ready to knock it out every single day. Boom, boom. I saw, like, you know, some of the documentaries. These guys are like, it's tough. I'm like, you're just boring. I don't know. Like, this is the most fun you could have, a whole week of competitive jiu-jitsu. So I was a little disappointed to find out it was week by week, and it kind of dragged. And in those middle weeks, I wasn't getting subs. It was getting kind of dry. And I think, honestly, I mean, again and again, the theme for me in my life has been just let go of that pressure, you know, let go of the pressure on yourself, let go of the attachment towards success, and you will perform. Because once you stop worrying, you stop wasting that mental energy, and you feel good, and you can focus on only success.
Yeah, nice answer. I mean, it's something that we've talked a lot about during the show, is just being able to execute during that mental grind.
Yeah.
So, having said this, you did this once. You mentioned you're going to school now. So where is school for you?
School is online. I'm at the community college.
Okay.
I got all my classes online, so I'm still training, I mean, about the same amount of hours. I've taken some time off. I pretty much stopped working completely during the PGF season. I work with my dad, so he supports me with my schedule.
Did you have to write a formal time off request for your dad?
No.
You had to take leave. You had to take a leave of absence.
We just do it by handshake. It's like the 60s, dude.
He's on a performance improvement
your dad's
plan.
been coming here and supporting you, so it's like he knows.
Yeah,
and
he knows.
He
trains.
What I do love about this is the whole family affair. Like getting to see your family and like watching the love and support that they had. It told me that not only are you rich in knowledge in how you approach this game, but you're rich in ways that other people may not have. Like you have a great family, wonderful support system. So I see why you have some success in that way. And then I see just this right approach where if you were to ask half of these guys to do school while doing this, I don't know that it would work for them. So your week's not done though. Then you go to EBI on Friday.
Yep.
What is the expectation for you? Because now you didn't quite get where you wanted to be, but you made such an incredible statement through your personality and through your perseverance that every single match that you had to sit up because we got excited to see you go to work. So what, if you get your way, is what happens on Friday at EBI?
I'm not unhappy. You're thinking I'm unhappy. I'm just kidding.
No, I
don't care where I get, man. Like, this is just I mean, I'm exactly where I need to be. And this has been the answer for me my entire life. And I've said it before, you just got to let things happen, man. The intention is to win EBI. That's the intent. That's the game, right? The game is I'm here to compete, I'm here to win, or else why are you going to come to the competition? But by no means am I set on winning per se. I didn't win the PGF, but I am more rich than I could have possibly imagined having actually won this thing by the amount of exposure I've gotten and getting invited to things like EBI. So you have to approach things with the mindset that if you do it well and if you do it passionately, it's going to work out somehow. And even the competitions where I've lost, where I've gotten injured, those have been essential to be where I am today. So it's all part of the story. So the intention's to win EBI. Everybody bleeds. There's some good guys in there. If I don't win, I'm going to show out against these guys. I'm going to be hard to catch. I'm going to be sneaky. I might catch them. Have fun.
Are you and Keith Krikorian going to do one of these where it's like a mirror? Because, the haircut, it definitely went a little more Keith. And at a certain point today when I saw you, I had a double take where I was like Keith's not in this, right? Like, we didn't just let him come in. But he actually sent me a note about you.
Really?
And he said, wow, that kid really, he's good. He's awesome. So he's an appreciator. But he did ask me a question. And he was like, does he remind you of me when I was younger? And I was like, oh, for sure. Because
I've heard that a lot.
You bring a youthful energy that is excitement. And that was the same thing that Keith had. And so for me, I love seeing where you're going to progress and where you're going to go, because this is only you right now at 18, right?
Yes.
Okay. For you, I want to ask this. What was your favorite moment throughout the entire PGF experience, sir?
It's the congregation of moments. It's the overall feeling that's stayed, which is a feeling of personal growth. Week by week, I've had a lot of room to grow and develop everything. But also this kind of weird family, Raph's practically my grandpa at this point.
It's true.
I'm just messing
around. I
look
great for being your grandpa, bro. Look at this.
You're doing well. Yeah. Bad grandpas.
I was trying. You said we were going to go back and forth. And
you know what it was?
Yeah.
For me, I'm asking you your favorite moment to give you your moment. Because for me, I think of it like this. You were so fun and so buoyant that I don't want the last statement of the PGF to be like, and he's a child. Look at him. I was so captivated.
Be
and
mature,
I just thought, no, I just want to know. But you say it's this congregation of moments. You celebrated your 18th birthday here.
Yeah.
You got so many money bags.
Yeah.
You literally are not short on favorite moments, but I'm wondering if one sticks out in this moment.
Just one single moment. It's hard, man. Like I said, it's this family aspect. It's the haven't been able to grow. I've gotten so many mentors here, like a lot of mentorship. People giving me advice, including you, and just really having this mirror to reflect on who I am, and kind of what I demonstrate. And I've been developing myself to be what's being reflected to me. So it's really satisfying to see, all the books I've read, all the podcasts I've listened to, all the failures I've had, trying to become something specific is being reflected to me, and that feels really good because I also haven't given up anything of myself. It's not an illusion, you know, this is exactly who I am, so it's really good to feel that.
We felt it all season. We really did feel like we went on a journey with you, and I'm excited to see what is next for you. I'm wishing the best. We have a lot of friends at EBI, so I can't say, man, I hope you win. Then I got 15 other people who are going to hit me, several of whom are here. But I will tell you, I am excited for the opportunity for you, and I really do feel like that's going to come in handy. Just real quick, if I were to make a guess, medium?
Medium?
Yeah.
Like size? Yeah, medium.
Sir, I would like to say, as an appreciation for being so great all season long, your very own Grappling Hour t-shirt. I hope you enjoy it. Enjoy yourself. Enjoy this. I'm going to give you that opportunity. That's your camera right there. Go ahead and give a shout out to anybody you'd like to, sir.
Thank you to Damon Morgan. You know, he has been my competitive coach. He has invested so many hours into me, and you know, even when I'm away, you know, he's on the phone, he's watching the matches, he's watching the other guys. He is, you know, every time I go to a different gym and I train with other people, and then every success I have, the more I realize he really is a world-class coach. I mean, that guy, the way he thinks, the way he studies the game, I wouldn't rather any other coach. And then I'm grateful for Johnny and James. They pretty much helped raise me in that gym. I've been training since I was 5, and everybody else in that gym, everybody helps me. I mean, I've said it again and again. Everybody helps me, and I'm so grateful for these amazing teammates that let me throw flying stuff on them. You know, throw flying arm bars and flying triangles.
They're very good people, if that's the case. Rafa, let's let you get out of here. Thank you again for
so
coming
much.
back.
Thank you.
So just so you were aware, this young man told me, he was like, oh, man, I got to go eat, but I'll come back. And I thought that's a big thing of you, sir.
Dude, let me shake your hand again, because we have heard that line so many times. Nobody ever comes back from the post-fight meal. You are indeed.
Go enjoy your night. Rafa
Thank you so much, guys. Have a good night.
Thanks, man.
Much love
good
to
job.
him. All right. We move on, and we have a next guest. So right now, well, we did lose her, so let's bring on Dom then. Oh, wait. Of course you can, sir.
Take a seat, sir.
Please.
I'm my favorite.
Good to see you, sir.
Carlos, how are you, sir?
Doing great, though.
Carlos Machado, how are you? Well, first of all, congratulations are in order. We saw you in a gi just a few seconds ago. How does it feel like to be inducted into a Jiu-Jitsu Hall of Fame here tonight, sir?
Well, I'll tell you what. Brandon pulled one on me today.
He did. So you didn't know this?
The guy said, "Oh, you know, come, to see the event, and Hoist will be there, but bring your gi." And last time I saw people with gi was Okan, Jeff Glover, and some of the other guys, including Brandon, making photo shoots.
Right.
So okay, photo shoot. And then I'm there, and all of a sudden, wait a minute, red carpet, and then wait, we're gonna call you and stuff. And when they started saying, and then he started to say, when he said the word Hall of Fame, I said, oh, it's coming. It's humbling.
Right.
I'm humbled.
But you should be in it. So, I mean, it makes sense to us. It's just, I know. Well, how do you think they're going to do it? Because at this point, it can't be a surprise to you because you, have been around, you've been influential. So I guess the question is, where do you feel about your place right now? Like, what do you feel inside having to reflect and give a speech and talk to these people? Like, what's going through your head right now?
So, you're a student, you're an instructor, and then you become a mentor. And then eventually, you become part of history.
Yeah.
So all those things. And I remember Hoist in 93 when we had the first UFC. I remember the first Gracies. And then the Machados tagging along in America, landing in LA. At that time, California is still the most beautiful place. But when you're in it in the beginning, you don't have perspective. And then you fast forward, 30, 40 years almost, and you look at PGF. You look at ADCC started first, and then the evolution. Now, it's not only the massive number of people that do jiu-jitsu, is the evolution of the art and the method in which they train. So, but I still believe you gotta look back. There's a beginning. There's the shoulders of giants that you climb from, and don't ever rest on your glory, because nowadays the evolution happens way faster. We reached critical mass. So all these guys who are winning today, they have to go back to their gyms and double down, because the reckoning will come.
Absolutely. Tim,
one of the things that you had mentioned is when you're coming up, it's kind of hard to know the perspective. You don't really know how you're going to look back on it 30 years later, 20 years later. At what moment, or was there a moment for you where you realized, hey, what I'm involved in, what I've grown up around, what seems normal to me, is actually becoming a really big deal? You mentioned coming to the United States and how big jiu-jitsu got through that. What was the moment when it kind of clicked in your head where you realized, like, this is really a big deal?
Okay, so there's a couple of things here, okay? People always talk about numbers, all right? How many people we're able to reach, each of us, directly or indirectly, because you all have the lineage. You see Brandon has Eddie Bravo, Jean-Jacques. So we all kind of connected, the Gracies and us. And I mean, we all know where we came from.
Yeah.
We're always thankful and pay tribute to it deservedly. But the power of jiu-jitsu, give me your hand. Shake my hand. If I shake your hand and you come to my gym, I already changed your life and the life of your next generation just because of that event altogether. Okay? So now multiply that by the number of direct and indirect lineage of people that are doing the same thing. I call pay forward. You know what I'm saying? We're changing lives in a blessing way. Because I don't know you, but jiu-jitsu, when you start doing it, you start loving it. When you start doing it, you don't feel like you want to ever stop doing it.
Yeah.
You know? And there's a longevity factor. Look at the Masters and the Worlds these days with IBJJF.
Yeah.
How many more people are actually continuing to do? I mean, competition is one aspect of it. I think for PGF, it's not even, when I look at things, I always have an impression we're still in the beginning. The big wave hasn't yet come.
Yeah, that's an interesting insight. What do you think that big wave is? What do you think is the catalyst to that?
All right, so when you conciliate, because right now we have competition, lifestyle, you know, and all the different aspects of jiu-jitsu, kind of like gravitating. I think competition is a big one because for young people, if they don't have a focus or a goal, they're going to get in trouble, you know, and also the professional aspect of the league, like Professional Grappling Federation. Now, I can also focus on something that's going to be productive in more ways than one. I'm going to get my sweat equity back in the end, right? But going back to your question, for me, because I'm no longer 20, I always look at those guys. I always think in terms of longevity. What's the formula? To be able to prepare, compete, then you have New Hope and all the different technology that works on the rehab, because you have guys nowadays that have an injured back, an injured knee.
Yeah.
You become a retired athlete and a member that won't be able to continue because your body. So I think there's a whole aspect here going on right now in the jiu-jitsu universe. I'm not going that far as creating a bionic jiu-jitsu man.
Give it time.
But, you can heal people, or the recovery part makes things so much more exciting. I think the rules, we have way less injuries in this past season compared to this one, you know. But anyhow, I'm kind of like so taken aback by the vibe, you know. I think all the instructors, they're really motivated. Like when Royce was there talking, I remember him fighting UFC 93, going 3 rounds in a row on the same night with all weights, all sizes, and you know, and then, you know, fast forward, UFC now is a professional MMA, biggest in the world. Now you have UFC BJJ coming in and cooperating. I mean, this is like, I don't know, it's like a volcano that's brewing. You know, I don't know what's going to come out of it, but I do know there's critical mass, and mainstream, they're going to get it.
I think we're making inroads. We see so many different avenues to making this work, and obviously that's built off the foundation of people like you, and I feel like that's why it's well placed to put you in the Hall of Fame. I guess I should ask this. Who else should be in the Hall of Fame? Like, if you have your say right now, who do you think we should be inducting next?
Well, I think there are quite a few, but the ones that are near me, my brothers for sure, and my cousins, like Rickson, for instance. Rickson, no question. No brainer. I think Rorion Gracie should be in the Hall of Fame because he's the one that had the vision that created the UFC when nothing was there, was against the law, it was banned in states. You know, we have quite a few. my cousin Hazel. He's like a guy that created such an immense stable of fighters, you know, with John Danaher and everybody else. I mean, everywhere you look, I think. But I do think that the Hall of Fame is not a job done. You know what I'm saying? Because we still have work to do.
Yeah.
I don't want to sit on my belt, my accolade, and think that I'm done already. There's yet a lot more to do it.
Well, you being here is indicative of that, because you helping this grow in your way goes a long way, because you see how it's life-changing for so much of this young talent. And that's what I see, and what I get so excited about is you get excited and enthusiastic about the future. And when you know, right before we chatted with you, we were talking with Raphael Ferreira.
I was about to talk about him.
And
isn't he look, I love everybody the same, but that guy's my favorite.
He was your favorite. Why was your
He
favorite?
gave my heart since before, when I saw him in the first part of the season before the playoffs. Man, his personality is exuberant.
Yeah.
He fights from the heart, and he has a big heart. You know, not just as a fighter, but as a human.
Yeah.
You know, I love that kid.
And just had some of the most exciting moments of the tournament. It was hard not to watch his matches. We told him you got up to watch his matches.
Drive? Yes. Like he was like on the lower end. The first match that you had today, the guy caught him in a triangle. He worked his way out. Then eventually he pursued. He went and then got the break.
Do you know how he said he got out of it? He said in his head, he said, "You're not going to catch me with this." And he said the only time he got caught this season was because he didn't give himself enough time to say that in his head. And so this kid's mental game is high. Like, he has studied the greats. He is always reading and lurking, and he's a real scholar. So I'm excited to see what he does. But again, when you've been around, and we haven't been around as long, but we've been around long enough to see, like, man, the future is secure, and it feels good, and it feels good to loan what we all can. And a lot of that comes from your foundation. We thank you for coming here to give what you can, and I know how much the guys get every time excited when they see you. So we appreciate you, sir.
My pleasure.
Appreciate you.
Shout out here to Once Upon a Coconut, the chocolate flavor. It's my demise right here, man.
Dude,
stay away from this.
so hold on.
Can't even find
You don't even understand this. This did not exist 2 weeks ago. This is only when you're a Hall of Famer do they have the chocolate for you. Because I went up and I said, "Yo, do you have chocolate?" They're like, "No, we're all out."
Yeah.
So you got to be a Hall of Famer to get that.
Heather did an amazing job. You know, Zoltan. I mean, everywhere you look around, you guys are amazing.
Absolutely.
Thank you, though.
Well,
Great.
please
Thanks,
enjoy the
brother.
rest
It's
of
an
your
honor.
night. Thank
Appreciate
you, ladies
My
and gentlemen, the legend, the Hall of Famer right now, Carlos Machado, everybody. Thank you very much, sir. All right. Ladies and gents, we have so much more show left for you. We are going to bring on somebody who's wearing gold. Super stoked about this right now. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome and give a big round of applause to Maka Vickers. Congratulations. Oh, my goodness. You know what's great is? The glow that you have with this belt. You're just like, oh, this thing? Oh, my goodness.
What, this belt?
First off, congratulations to you. What does it feel like to have this championship on your arm here tonight?
Honestly, it is just a belt, but the representation of having a title from a prestigious organization like PGF, that's super special to me. And to be one of the first 145-pound women.
That's right.
And to have that pressure or that privilege to be the role model for those who are going to come after me.
We just had a legend on here. He laid a foundation. You're laying a foundation. So congratulations to you. Can I just tell you, in all honesty, I legitimately had to do a double take to see your finish because it was so effortless that I was like, did I miss that? And I had to pull back on the stream and go, oh my goodness. So walk us through your finish if you wouldn't mind.
Yeah, of course. I'm just going to put the weight of this.
Yeah, do you want to put it on the table? How can we help you here?
How about you decide?
It's like, no, I'm just going to hold it
She's
over
like,
my head.
she's like, hold on. I love this. Oh my goodness.
Now we're in business.
Let's do that. So walk us through the finish if you would be so kind.
Yes. So.
Oh, I'm so sorry. Do you mind scooting up just a little bit? There we go.
I started the match out. I wanted to be aggressive. I knew Ali was going to pull guard. I'm a pretty aggressive fighter myself, so I know most girls, they pull guard. I've been really working on being super aggressive out the door rather than like being slow pace. And so I noticed that when I started putting the pressure on her and the intensity of my pressure and my pace, it started to fatigue her very fast. But I noticed it was fatiguing me. So I was like, I need to isolate an arm right now. But before I did that, like my standard go-to whenever I compete is I like to make sure I get the takedown, I get a pass, and I have a dominant position, meaning top mount, side control, or back control for at least 30 seconds to a minute to show that I have the ability to control on my terms, and then transition from there to a submission hold and finishing with a submission. How I finished Ali, similar to how I finished her previously when I fought her at a different promotion for a different title fight. Back triangle is kind of my favorite thing. The fun fact, the reason why I love back triangle is because I struggled for a while to finish my matches with strangles from the back, so I had to get creative and I used my legs instead to strangle. So this time I was really looking for the strangle with the back triangle. I didn't previously get that with her. And so I found myself chasing the joint lock instead because she had really good grip connection. It was hard for me to break. But ultimately what led to submission was her being fatigued over time, and then it gave me a moment to transition to top mount, which I still couldn't separate her hands, so I decided to smother her in a very classy way.
Very tasteful smother.
Yes, I like smother her, and I'm like, okay, is she alive? But like, obviously you're
You
not
put a
gonna...
glove on first.
Yeah, and I did it again, and I was like, okay, it's separating her hands. So I timed it well to where I could get her elbow at least at shoulder line, and then eventually slap on the back triangle. And I was chasing the Kimura and the Americana for a while, but I ultimately finished with the Kimura, I believe.
I mean, amazing and an incredible finish. But for me, I just always wonder, like, the way that you described how you had to go about that finish was just like you going like, I'm going through waters that I had to work really hard to get better at. But what did it feel like to actually get that finish for you? Because you're like, I used to not be as good at this. It's got to be fulfilling.
For sure. Finishing joint locks in back triangles or just triangles in general is something that I really have been leaning on to finish my matches. It's not ideal for me because strangulation, I believe, is like the most superior form of submission.
For sure.
Because when it comes to strangulation, there's like no tough girls. Like, you just go to sleep. I have broken girls before, especially their ankles, and I'm like, well, okay, we're done here. And they won't tap. They'll just keep going. And I'm just like,
I'm good.
Like, no, you're not, girl. Like, I did not sign up for this. Neither did you. Like, let's go home.
It's fair to say, girl, that's not classy. Like, I'm trying to be classy with my jiu-jitsu, but like, getting broken is not classy.
And that's the whole thing too. The ref told me right before the match started, I will not stop the match unless I hear or see the tap. And until I say stop, it doesn't matter.
Well, this is the rules, right?
Yeah.
So, yeah. Can you talk about, was it a challenge or what was kind of going through your head? You mentioned that you had a previous match against Ali that you had won in 2024, and you're coming up to fight her again. It's for the PGF. She's also a friend of yours. It's not like somebody where you're like, it's like, I'm gonna smoke you, right? This is like a friend. How does that impact your mental game coming into it, and did it have an impact on you?
It did. Ali has been always, she's always had my back, and despite the whole B-Team New Wave drama, that's never affected our friendship. And so I think for me, psychologically, like, I know that I'm very strong for a woman, and from a very young age, I've always been very fearful of hurting women unintentionally. And so that's something like consciously I've had to like overcome in my matches where like I break the girl and I'm like on the verge of throwing up and crying in the middle of the match, but that doesn't look good when you're a champion. And it's because
You're apologizing. You're writing a formal apology letter.
yeah, so I really had to get over that. Most of my training partners my entire life have been males. So like when I grapple with women, I always have to be gentler because I know that crushing spirit And so I really didn't want to do that, but she gave me no choice this match. She definitely came at it a lot harder, and so I had to dominate a little bit harder.
Yeah, and I feel like when it's your friend, but you both agree, like, hey, we're going to do this, then I expect my friend to come after me with everything they got, and I'm going to come after them, and then whoever wins is going to win. I probably won't break them, right? But I would be disappointed if I felt like I didn't get that effort back in return. So.
Yeah. Well, some of my good friends over the years I met through competition, and I never thought that how that was going to go.
Yeah.
Like, now I've got people who I'm like, this dude tried to kill me,
Yeah.
and now is offering to buy me drinks at my events. And I go, sir, I could get you a drink. Thank you. But it is a spirithood, and for you, having that sisterhood, I know it's got to be hard. Can I ask, though, how did you get past that? Because so many people feel that. And sure, a lot of women feel that, but some dudes kind of don't want to break people either.
Yeah. So you're asking, how did I get over the fear of breaking people?
Yeah, like, how did you personally do it? Everybody had a different method for that.
I think for me, I had to really understand. So my husband does a great job making sure that I can see things from an analytical standpoint when I feel emotionally involved. And one of the things I got from him that helped me to like progress was that at the end of the day, I work hard.
Champ.
I put in the effort and the time to acquire this skill, and therefore I have accolades. And so whoever or whatever is standing in front of me, they're trying to take what's mine. And so at the end of the day, I'm first. My win is first. And that really helped me flip the switch in my head.
You know what's great is you are a strong woman, and it is so cool to have a support system that enhances that strength. That literally says, like, no. You do work hard. You should expect that of
Cobra
yourself.
Kai.
Because I'll be honest with you, every so often my wife, when I come home, she'll just be like, don't let them forget who you are. And I'm like, thanks, babe. Like, that's a good
what's up.
That's a good relationship. So that's amazing. All right, let's talk real things, though.
Okay.
How are we celebrating this? You celebrating at all? Are you allowing yourself some fun tonight?
Not really.
Okay.
I'm competing again this weekend, and I have a lot more competitions coming up. This was my first professional match, and so I want to make sure. Thank you. And I want to make sure that I am responsible as I'm continuing to build my career. I might have a drink, but again, I still need to stay on weight for this weekend.
Okay, no, I feel that, but like, have a drink. It's when you have Andy Varela amount of drinks that we get concerned.
I'm not familiar with that amount of drinks.
I'm just letting you know.
Yeah, you don't.
When you go to the bartender and ask for the Andy Varela, they go, you're cut off. No more. We're messing with you. We love you, Andy. Here,
Love you, Andy.
What I do want to ask now is, you mentioned we have all these super fights, all these things coming forward in the future, but take me forward. Now that you have this belt, do you want to be a defending champ? When do we want to be back on these mats? Do you want to be back at season 9? Like, what do you see as the future?
I definitely want to defend my belt, but I want to make sure that I use it for a person that I wouldn't normally get matched up against.
Okay.
And so the most opportune match for me would be Mo Black.
That's a great freaking. Oh, hold on. Ooh. She came with a bullet in the chamber and was like, Mo Black, where you at? Because
I'm respectful. I never put myself first.
I'll
She's
be
like,
honest with
I got
you.
a name on you.
I gotta be real. Mo is a friend, and I think that would be a fire match. Oh my goodness.
But I definitely want time to prepare for that match.
For sure.
I think like what is most important for me is that I can use this to advocate for the most toughest, best match I can get, and win or lose, I'm learning.
Well, you came out here, you gave us a great match. I thought that if this is your first professional match, the trajectory is going to go higher and higher, especially as you find more of your power. Consider us fans, consider the people online fans. You killed it out here. I would love for you to look at that camera right there and tell the people where they can follow you, shout out any of your team or your sponsors that you just want to thank for this incredible performance here today.
I will. Thank you so much for that opportunity. Okay, so I'd like to first thank my sponsor, Black Triangle. They've been my longest standing sponsor. They provide G10 blades. If you're not familiar, it's non-metallic blade, meaning that like if you find yourself in a situation where you can't bring any weapons. You can hide it or conceal it on your persons and be prepared.
It's a shank.
Maybe. For some, it's a life or death tool.
Right.
So, I would also like to thank my teammates at Kingsway and my teammates at Coastal Jiu-Jitsu, where I first started my jiu-jitsu journey. Nestor, James, and Mike Paulson, thank you so much. And then I'd also like to thank myself.
Hey, she's right. Absolutely.
Good job.
That's
I love
right.
that one. Nice.
But, yeah, I mean, I put a lot of hard work. I make a lot of silent sacrifices. And I think that's something to talk about as a woman in Jiu-Jitsu rising is, like, a lot of us, we have husbands. A lot of us, we have full-time jobs. But we are still expected to train and handle our stuff just as the boys do. And I think that is, like, the most challenging part about it. And if we can continue to show up for ourselves and show up with a higher standard, we can elevate the sport of Jiu-Jitsu.
Absolutely. And I mean, if they give the great finishes that you do and will continue to do, I think you're going to continue to elevate the sport. I just want to say thank you very much. I don't know if this is the right size. Are you small or are you a medium?
Small.
Small? Consider this a gift.
Thank you.
Congratulations. Big, big congrats to you. And please go enjoy your night. You did incredibly well,
Thank
and
you.
we're so thankful for your time.
Thank you.
Nice job.
Ladies and gentlemen,
Thank you.
Maka Vickers, everybody. Oh my goodness. The champ escapes.
With a call out.
It's so
beautiful.
you know what though? Do that
you
more
made our
often.
day.
I love that. And
You-
the best part is,
Perfect.
I know Mo, and Mo's like, okay.
Okay, funny thing. All right, so I actually was supposed to I competed in the 135-pound main character bracket, where the winner of that bracket goes to fight Mo Black. I lost first round. I was expected to at least make it to finals. I was so bummed because all I cared about was fighting Mo Black that I introduced myself to her after the match. I was like, hi, I'm Maka. I have a 135-pound Enigma belt. I would love to fight you. And she was just kind of like, I told the promoter what I did, and he was like, you're fired. He's like, now I got to go send her an apology message.
Oh my
He was
goodness.
joking. He's my
No,
friend.
Mo, we know Mo. I mean, here's the nice part is, Mo, like, wonderful competitor, have the utmost respect for her, have had a great interview with her in the past, and literally there was a moment where she was here at one of the last PGF events, like one of the weeks, and I looked at her and I saw that she was here, and I said, hey, you didn't come say hi. And she was like, you looked busy, and I was like, not busy for you, like busy to people I like don't want to talk to, not busy for Mo Black. And she goes, I'm so sorry. I'm like, there's nothing to be sorry about. I think you're a great example of not women's grappling period. Just a great person,
Right on.
quality. Get behind that, and just when you want to call out quality like that, it's indicative of your character as well. Because you're saying, let's elevate this, and you picked a great dance partner, and hopefully we can put something like that together. And if we can, I feel like we'll have an excellent match. But let's get you prepared. Let's get you out there. You got a good team. I think, you know what I mean? Like, you're going to be okay. Your trajectory of getting better in 2 months is like a lot of people's 2 years. So I feel like you'll probably be ready sooner than later, but we'll be ready whenever you're ready to see it. So, ladies and gentlemen, Maka Vickers, everybody.
Thank you.
Well done. Love that. All right. We're going to go ahead and now continue the party right now with somebody who, man, this kid killed it. He had an incredible run. This is our runner-up of this season, but there's nothing about this man that wasn't exciting all season long. Dom Mejia, how are you feeling, brother?
Good. How you guys doing?
We're doing great, and I'm so sorry. We were signaling you on, and then we had a legend show up, and I'm
It's like,
not about to tell a legend
Dahmer
no.
Carlos.
Oh,
Dahmer
you're good.
Carlos.
Well, I just looked over and I was like, uh-oh, who's going to beat me up worse? A legend on air or a young kid? So, Dom,
Hey,
what
I
is
got
the...
the scythe.
fair.
Yeah.
Dom, what is the feeling right now? You had such an incredible run all the way throughout. You ended up becoming the points leader. What did that feel like when you found out that information?
Oh man, like it feels good. I think in an interview before I said that it's like playing a video game with like handicap. You know what I mean? Like you're being held back, and you come back, and do what you got to do, and to come in and get the number 1 points. That was pretty sweet. I didn't know until like yesterday, and so it's actually pretty funny. Some of the guys back home were like crapping on me for getting second place, and so now I can clap back a little bit.
I mean, the weird part is the separation was not that far off to begin with. So it's not like you came in and did trash work. You did good work, and you were at the top of the field on a shorter amount of time. Come to find out, womp womp, you actually won the whole thing. So with that being said, for the season for you, let's start here and then we'll get more into today. What was your favorite moment from this season?
Favorite moment, man? Probably the one that sticks out the most to me is the John Chandler match. Just because, one, I didn't submit him, and I think it was actually a pretty fun match to watch. Those are the ones that usually stick out to me, the ones where I feel like I can learn something, and they actually were exciting match, you know what I mean? John Chandler's also just a great guy. I've seen him so many times at tournaments, you know what I mean? It's like, since we were kids, I would see him. It was me and my mom and him and his mom, and, you know, we see each other. So it's just great to see him, you know, like thriving and doing his thing as well, and, you know, making as much money as he did with all the money bags. So, you know, that's probably the one that sticks out to me.
Very nice. Tim?
You won 3 money bags through the course of the season. What did you do with that money?
Man, I don't spend money, to be honest. I haven't bought clothes for myself in like, I think 3 years. I haven't bought shoes in maybe longer. I just run off of you know, Christmas gifts and whatever my sponsor sends me.
Rash
That's
cards,
pretty much that's pretty much what I run off of.
We need to get this guy a Kohl's sponsorship, a TJ Maxx
Yeah, no
sponsorship.
kidding. Wait, so 3 years was the last time you went shopping for clothes?
Yeah, probably.
Okay.
Yeah.
Any reason particular? Is it just that you're getting so much sponsored clothes, or what is
you know,
the deal?
Honestly, I just I'm really stingy with my money. Like, it pains me to spend money, man.
Okay,
like,
but what's
that's a
something that
smart
you're
young
proud
man.
of that you spent money on?
You know, the only time I will spend my money is like I'll have good food. Like I'll have
That's
good,
what you were talking
good
about.
sushi.
Okay.
Yeah.
So did you find good sushi while you were out here at all?
So not here, but when I went back to Austin between the break, I had some sushi. I had a lot of sushi. So ate pretty good. You know, I spent like $300, and you know that's
one meal.
Hold on.
One meal.
This kid's
Just
literally
you.
off the same shoes he had 3 years ago.
Yeah,
but it's
wow.
like, you know what? Keep those rainbow rolls
Yeah.
coming, bro.
Yeah. You ate 2 pair of good shoes in one night, man. Basically.
Yeah. I save for what I want to actually spend on. You know what I mean?
That's understandable. Hey, you know what? You deserved it because you mentioned when you got here, you're like, hey, I can use this money back because I'm trying to eat tonight.
Yeah.
So you ate very well.
Exactly.
All right, let's talk about tonight. What did you feel about tonight? Like, I know there's a lot of mix of emotions, but like, top to bottom, what are you taking away from this experience just from tonight?
Yeah, today's actually the first time I've felt anxious for a tournament since maybe like 2 years ago for like East Coast trials. I usually don't get anxious for tournaments anymore. Today was the first time I got anxious because I knew Jett was going to be a tough match, and that's the one I was kind of worried about. But I honestly felt good once I warmed up. I felt good. All the aching injuries I was worried about, or feeling a little tired or whatever, kind of like went away once I warm up, and that's how usually it is. So I felt good for the Brady match. I felt good for against him. He's such a cool dude too. I hope his knee's okay. And then had to fight Hoffa, which I knew was going to be a tough match. But I knew that it was going to be pretty tough for him to submit me, and then I knew the EBI overtime was going to go into my favor.
Well, let's go to this first, because it felt like you versus Hoffa was the best 155 division versus the best 170 division, because there was a size difference, and it was kind of weird where I was like, all right, we're going to pick the small guy on the left and the big guy on the right, because Derek and Jett are both big boys, and yet there's a certain sort of amazingness of seeing the difference in body types and still thinking, shit, that's going to be a compelling final match between you and Jett. And I was enthralled. I loved it. Audience was very tense the entire way. Did you feel that tenseness in the audience?
To be honest, I don't really pay attention to the audience when I'm competing. Everything, I'm just focused on whoever's coaching me and then actually doing the match. I knew Jett was going to be tough. He's much heavier than me. He's not. I think this is the only time he's going to fight 155 ever again. You know what I mean? I hope to God that's true. But yeah, he's a big guy. I knew it was going to be a tough match, and it's kind of the combination of the whole season kind of got me together. Jett doing amazing, me doing great as well, and kind of reaching to the final peak. I've seen Jett around. I told him after that, I respect Jett so much. I've been on quintet teams with him. I've been on so many events with him that I really respect Jett. And out of there's a couple people on the whole kind of roster that I really respect. You know what I mean? Of course, my teammates Christos and Landon. I really respect Hoffa. Like, I think he's going to be a big thing in a few years, and Jett as well. You know what I mean? Those are the guys that, like, I know no matter what, those are going to be hard matches, and those are people that I really respect.
Can you talk about the challenge, or if there was a challenge, going from the team format where you're going out almost like a dual meet style? If there's no sub, it's a draw, you move on, versus now you're in the playoffs, now there's an overtime. It's kind of like EBI, not exactly EBI, right? You're stuck to the back position. There's fairly aggressive stalling penalties. Did that change your approach going from the team matches into the individual playoffs?
The only thing that really changed for me was how hard I was hunting for a choke. That's the only difference that I made. Like today, I didn't care if it was a choke or a break or whatever it was going to be. For the season, I was really particular on forcing chokes, and I think you kind of saw my game plan change today. Before, I was really focused on pinning them and crushing them going through, and you saw that again a little bit with Jett, because I didn't really want to play too far into his leg locks. But on the previous matches, I really didn't mind whether I got a leg lock, a choke, whatever it was, and I wasn't picky. That's probably going to be the biggest change. Training wise, we did a lot of EBI, and that was probably the main difference training wise. But honestly, the biggest thing was the lack of emphasis on the choke.
And I don't know if you had a chance to watch Jett's match when he was going up against Raphael, which was a heated exchange, right? It went the full distance, super difficult match. If you saw that, did you have any kind of feeling like, okay, hey, Jett might have burned through a lot of his gas tank in that match against Raphael? Maybe you'll get a little bit of an easier Jett Thompson. It didn't appear that you did, but did that thought cross your mind at all?
I mean, you always hope for the person you're going to fight has the most exhausting match possible.
I mean, it just about, right?
I had a pretty tiring match with Hoffa as well, so I didn't think it was going to be too different. I think if he submitted Derek very quickly, and then it would have been a bigger like a discrepancy, or the other way around. So I think at the end of the day, it kind of equaled out, because I had a pretty active match with Hoffa and everything like that, and I think eventually it equaled out. I think maybe Jett was a little more tired, and wasn't as strong as he might have been. Because to be honest, he didn't feel crazy strong. I think he was going to feel stronger. Though his length was, the big issue for me when he locked the body triangle at the end. That was the issue. I felt like it was how long his legs were. It's pretty hard to unravel his body triangle. My ribs are going to be hurting tomorrow for sure. But I think if he didn't fight Derek, he might have been a little stronger. And he might have pulled me in a little quicker, and I would have to defend harder. But to be honest, I wasn't too worried about getting submitted by him. I was more worried about like getting into positions where he was just going to hold me for long periods of time.
And I'm sure you started to feel that. It became a little bit of a strategy game toward that home stretch. And we started seeing it with like 2 to 3 minutes left to go, where you don't want to give anything away. You kind of get the feeling this could go. You see him starting to climb. You see him starting to take the back. There was a moment, though. Did you give him your back because you saw him starting to crush? I wasn't sure, but people in the audience were saying that you did. And I was just curious because I said, oh, I can't give Jett my back. I've rolled with it. Not a fun place to be.
Yeah, so I dislocated this rib about a week ago or 2 weeks ago.
Ooh, goodness.
And so it pops out every once in a while. During the Hoffa match, it popped out as well. But he went for kind of the Silvio stretch type. I mean, Silvio crush or whatever they're calling Kosovo.
Yeah, the Kosovo
there
crush,
we go,
yeah.
Kosovo crush. He was kind of doing that thing, and honestly, I was like, I'm not gonna eat that. I just take my back. I'd rather do that. I honestly, like I said, I felt like he wasn't gonna submit me on the back. Hold me, yes, but submit me, I wasn't too worried about it. I'd rather just protect my rib, and that's what I try to do.
What an incredible decision, because even with a body triangle, that still can't feel great on your rib. So you were still eating it, but less in that position if you had stayed there. So that makes a lot more sense. Because I don't know, the weird part is when people start yelling out like, he gave him his back, I was like, I think there's a reason for that. I just don't know what it is. And so when people say that sort of stuff and they miss that context, Jesus Christ, well, that makes sense. Well, for having a rib that's kind of misplaced, that's some incredible work you're doing out there, young man.
Yeah, I mean, unless I get directly asked, I'm not going to bring it up. You know what I mean? Like, it's Jett's day, and Jett won, and I don't like the rib honestly doesn't matter.
Understood.
In the end of the
you
day.
still were able to get a finish. You had an incredible match as well, and then you have this incredible epic finish. So there is that. I'm going to assume trials are what's coming up next. But is there anything that's happening before trials or that you see happening for you in the near future?
I might do a couple team tournaments. There's some people that are asking me to do some team tournaments, for a little bit of cash here and there. I'll be doing those. I might, whenever BJJ World Tour puts on, I have a belt there. And, I get paid for that too. So, go make some money there as well. But yeah, I'm just going to see if I can get a tournament or two in and then get ready for trials. I'm not super into like ring rust or, mat rust or whatever like that. I feel like when I show up, I'm going to show up how I should. So I'm not like super incredibly like worried about getting a match or whatever. I just like keeping my name out there, you know what I mean? And try to be active. You know what I mean? I have some contracts that are, going to get renegotiated soon. So the more I can put my name out there, the more I can do things, you know what I mean? The greater, benefit for me.
For you though, okay, so this is getting renegotiated because I don't want to take away from these lovely people.
Yeah.
But you did mention a little bit a second ago that you are
in need of clothes.
Look
at this.
Of clothing. But man. I figured, as being a dominant performer throughout, you would be welcome to have this, and hopefully we can keep this shortage of you not having clothes. And again, listen, we love them, but like, just want to say, like, this instead of that. Love you, Level Black. Me instead of them. Love them. They sell enough. Anyway, I just want to point this out. Of course. I hope you understand. You were one of our favorite people to watch this season. You came in, you made a difference and an impact. And bang for buck, they were doing the stats on you. Had you been here for a whole season?
Man.
Had you have been Mr. Moneybag the whole time? Who knows? Who knows if you would have gone? Would you come back for a future season?
Man, I would love to come back. Honestly, I had a great time. It was one of my favorite, events that I've ever been on, and I honestly it was a great time. I love to get drafted normally. Make some money too.
He's like looking over. He's like, y'all got me on cheap. Next time, this is going up.
What did Jett go for? 77?
77.
Oh, that'd be nice.
Man, but you know what? Hey, I want to tell you something. You really made an impressive show this season. We're very proud of you. I would love for you to look at your camera, thank the teammates you want to thank the friends that made this experience great, and give any shout-outs that you want to.
Yeah, man. Thank you to my family. Thank you to my mom, my girlfriend that were here tonight. Thank you to Level Black. Thank you to Godfather Jerky, my two sponsors that are primarily with me and have been with me. Those guys are great. Thank you for my team at Kingsway. Thank you for everyone who helped me prepare. I was doing so many EBI rounds with Landon. He has EBI in a few days too, so I know he's well prepared and everything like that. And honestly, man, just thankful for everyone. Thank you for BMAC for allowing me to come in late and doing what I did. He really gave me an opportunity to put my name out there, and I think I was able to do that, and I'm really happy and grateful for everything like that. Grateful for you, Raph. Thank you, Tim. Thank you for everything, guys, for everything you've done. I know it's exhausting, being here so many times in Vegas. I'm tired to be in Vegas. So, thank you to everyone who put on the show.
We love and appreciate you, young man. Go enjoy the rest of your night.
You, man.
Hey,
thank you so much.
Great season, and congratulations on being the number one point scorer.
Outstanding performance.
I think next time, listen, if he's not the number one draft pick, I'm just saying. Just saying. This
Let's
man,
talk on the side.
You know what? Hold on.
We'll build your name on.
Before he hears me, because if he hears me, go for more than $7,700. Because if you do, I'm just saying, like, a championship might have it. You know what I'm saying? So, like, right here. Just anyway. Dom,
thanks, brother.
Thank you so much, man.
Have a good one, man.
Dom Mejia, thank you very much. We now move on to, well, this might be a long time coming. This might be a great moment for a friend of the show, a standout before bringing home the championship. Ladies and gentlemen, a round of applause for your champion of the PGF Season 8. Jett Thompson. Get it done, Jett. Oh, my goodness. And the black belt as well. Is this like one of the best nights of your life?
This right here, baby.
It's amazing. It's definitely one of the best nights of my life.
Like, they were just short of like making it your birthday party. They brought out a black belt. You got a belt. You won a big thing. Like, what is happening in your brain right now?
And it's truly an honor being here. And I can't give enough thank yous to everybody who put this on, who helped me to get here, and my God, Jesus Christ, who helped me to win this title tonight. Like, I was forgetting the verse like after like the post
I
show
got
interview.
that. I got that. You said 2 Timothy
I was
something.
like,
and you're like, Jesus, don't film it now.
You know what the weird thing is?
Yeah,
I hear he's a forgiving God, so I think he's gonna be okay. He knows the sentiment more than anything.
He knows that you were working really hard. You were defending chokes and strangles, all the oxygen.
He saw your last 2 matches and knew,
got
like, this dude's been under it for
Yeah.
today.
yeah.
Jett, okay. It's so weird because last 2 seasons ago, you and I were sitting right here, and it was talking to somebody who, in their eyes, only likes to win, and was giving the Ricky Bobby, if you're not first, you're last. But I'm looking, I was trying to tell you, you had an amazing run, and it may not have resonated then. Does it resonate now? And how does it feel to make good on what you wanted back in season 6?
It feels amazing. Like, are you talking about like my run in season 6?
Like
or?
becoming a runner-up and being young, but this incredible star who hits the stage, and then not getting what you really set out to do, but then coming here and fulfilling that and making good and seeing the reality happen for you.
Yeah, it's kind of like a poetic. Like I came in as the kid that nobody knew in season 6,
Yeah.
and then I was runner-up, and like I came in, I was number 1 draft pick for this one, and I ended up making it all the way through to the finals. And like the same thing, I said this in season 6. Like, man, I'm just some kid from Oklahoma, man. Like, there's nothing like super special about me. It's just like
I would say there's a few things that are special about you, Jett.
I'm just like a kid from Oklahoma that likes to work hard at what he does.
You're effing Jett Thompson, man.
Dude,
like,
that's right.
you know what it is? You have now etched your name in our halls. So you're not just a kid from Oklahoma, you're a champ. And that's going to seep in as it gets a little bit more further away from it all, because we can see that picture. But for you, you had to go through some work tonight.
Mhm.
Let's recap. Match 1. When you start off the night, it goes well, but what does it feel like to start with submission and get right to the races?
It feels great. Like, they had like the last minute bracket change at like 7 last night, and I was like, all right, this is a way harder match now. But no, it ended up working out well, but because I got the quick sub on Matt, and then I kind of like, it like hit me. This is a blessing, because I think Hoffa would have been a harder match than Derek. So I was like, I'm glad I ended up fighting Derek in the semis.
Well, it wasn't an easy match with
Interesting.
Derek
I mean, it was-
either.
yeah.
Let's be honest, because
It's
we
never
saw
an
that
easy
match.
Yeah.
And you know what's great is, I feel like both of you have very strong attributes.
Mhm.
So when they paired you guys up, that was a match we really wanted to see.
Right.
Like, from your perspective, how did that match go?
I mean, that match was just, it was the battle of the rednecks, Like, she was the best.
Okies are better. Arkies are better. Okies are better.
Hey,
Arkies are better.
Oklahoma has the best rednecks. I think that's what we learned tonight.
I have such appreciation for both of you young men. I've known him since he was like 15. I mean, Landon cut a video of me interviewing him when he was a child after EBI. But cut me out, Landon. Very rude.
Not cool.
Just, show the people I've been around and I know talent. And what happened in that particular match, in our perspective, was we saw you go to work and you had a sizable threat, but one that you seemed to negate, but it was tense. And a lot of it for us on the audience might have been one of the best matches of the entire PGF Season 8 run. For you, what do you think was the difference maker that ended up getting you to go advance?
I think, even with, same thing with Dom, I kind of felt him give up in, like, the overtime, Like, I can feel it, like, both of them, like, the first overtime was, like, that was really hard to hold on to, both of them. But then the second overtime, it was like, all right, this is pretty easy. And then the third one, it was, they kind of just, like, limp noodled. They weren't doing as much. So I think I just kind of, like, outpaced them at the overtime, and I outdogged them,
What was going through your mind in the Rayfield match? There were a few times where Derek was getting agitated with the reffing. He was having conversation with a mystery judge, and then I think I know who that judge was now, and it was the judge he said that he's never had beef with.
Oh no!
But then you guys had an exchange on the mat with each other. You were kind of talking back and forth a little bit. Can you share any of that? Do you even remember that?
I don't remember that. Wait, when?
Against Derek Rayfield.
Wait, no, like when in the match?
It was near the end of the match, and you guys, it was in regulation time, and you guys were at a certain point where you guys were both saying something back and forth to each other.
Oh, I think I had him. I like body locked him, and I was like in side control, and he was like trying to bring his feet in. I was like, bro, that's a fake move.
The disrespect is real. I mean, I can tell you this. I was watching with Elijah Carlton. So I'm standing right here. He's looking at it. I'm looking at Derek with admiration of like, I can't do that shit.
Yeah.
Like, my knees are hurting looking at that.
Oh, yeah, when he reaped over.
He's reaping over, and you're not even phased. You're just like, okay, cool. And I know I have dumb students who ask, like, but coach, what if you, like, do a double reap? And I'm like, nobody's going to do that. And then here comes Derek, and I go, let me rephrase that. You idiot can't do this.
Yeah.
You can't do that.
But, like, top 10%er good jiu-jitsu people can do it. And so for you didn't really look like you were phased, but I mean, Derek gets a little bit heated, and you know what was great? You just kind of stay the line. So are you talking back to him? Because even you saying that's a fake move is like kind of funny to us.
Yeah.
But I don't know if it registers as trash talk back in your perspective.
No, it was like, no, it was just my 10th Planet thing. I was like, bro, what is this?
What are you talking about, man?
That's amazing.
What thought went through your head towards the end where, on appearance, if you just watch it, it looks like Rayfield tried to smack you, but I really believe he was going for an aggressive collar tie, and you kind of ducked out from underneath it, and he whiffed on it. Anything that was going through your head at that moment, that's when it felt like the exchange was getting frenetic enough that it was almost becoming out of control.
No, nothing really. It was just like part of it. You want to watch my match with Elder Cruz at the ADCC Open Finals? That was the whole match. It was just like clubbing. Swinging clubs and just like dodging and weaving the whole match.
I love the attitude now of these young guys is basically like, it was a great time. I loved every minute of it.
CTE. It's great. CTE is the best. So I see this match. He's exhausted. You mentioned that you had words maybe during regulation, but at the end, you sure as hell had words with each other. So what did you say to each other? Because he looked depleted. You didn't look full of energy, but you definitely were in a high of, I did win. So what did you guys say to each other there?
No, I just told him he was a dog and like he's a great opponent and that he's got a good future.
He does. That was... I saw that as such a respectful moment because it's so hard when you don't advance and you're giving everything and you meet a good opponent and it's just like you have nothing left to give and you see him just kind of like in almost a yoga position, just crumpled like, oh my God.
They call that sack of laundry.
And then I saw you just say words and I thought, again, indicative of your character, but job's not finished. Then you have this match with Dom Mejia, who's been a threat for so many different people. People are very excited for this match. How did you approach it? And were you not exhausted? Because I looked at your match and I was exhausted watching you versus Derek.
I was very exhausted. I'm so glad that they did the Hall of Fame thing. But I didn't know they were doing that, and I was like, bro, this is gonna be terrible. And then
Meanwhile,
and then by the time it ended, I was like, all right, I'm okay.
Meanwhile, you're looking over at like Hoist, and you're like, "Do you got anything else to say?"
Yeah, come on, I need 5 minutes. Stretch.
So watching like the women's title match, I'm like, please go overtime. Please go overtime.
Meanwhile, you're like, Hoist, I have a question.
Yeah.
Tell me about UFC 1. Anybody else?
Blue Hoist. Explain that again one more time. Why do you wear the blue one?
Okay, so from your perspective, how did that match go? And for you, at any point, did you feel like you were maybe getting closer to finding a solution that other people weren't finding for Dom?
Yeah, I felt like I kind of had a solution. It was like every time I got on top, I cooked him with my passing. So the hard part was just like kind of getting on top. There were a few times in the match where he was like he ended up getting the double unders for a little bit, and like honestly, it's pretty kind of works to game the system from places like that, because like in the match I got the penalty, but he was like almost in mount, and I kind of turned and got the quarter guard, and they reset us in the turtle, and I was able to escape.
Right.
So because I would much rather be in the penalty position than on bottom mount.
For sure.
So kind of same thing. I did that with Derek too. Like when he had the legs over, and they ended up counting down the penalty, and I was like, all right, this is gonna be way easier to escape than the double read.
Yeah.
So I was like, all right, like give me the penalty, because the penalties really don't matter unless you get 3. So as long if you keep it like 1 penalty to escape a hard position like that, I think that's
You're just like, I got 2 to spare.
Yeah, right. I was like, I'm good.
Okay. The match goes. It's tense. It's coming down to overtime. But we mentioned the poeticness of it. You've been there before. And especially when you were like a Wolverine on Andy Varela the last time you were there. What got you to make this one work? Like, what made it this time that you were able to win that maybe last time? Did you come with something new that you learned? Did you just know how to stay calm? What was the mechanism you took away?
And I think just the heart out there, you know, because like I said, I think I won because Dom and Raphael, I mean, don't get me wrong, they were like pushing pretty hard, but I think I was, I think I had a lot more in me in the moment and a lot more heart pushing towards the, not really the finish, but the holding of the position. So I kind of just was able to ride him out the whole time.
Can I tell you from a perspective of somebody who saw you at season 6, this feels good. This feels good to see. And we left Dom, so don't. But like, you know, there's something to be said about fulfilling your story and seeing this happen for you, because there were moments where I don't know if I was like everybody else in the audience, but it was like, I want this to happen. Like, I'm rooting for you, and we try to be as impartial as possible. But you can't help but feel compelled. Like, you come so close, you can see it, you're right there, and then you start seeing the control you have for your body triangle. And then you remember, oh, all those Jett Thompson, does he score points? All I could say throughout the season was, I feel bad for anybody who has to work out of your back control. And lo and behold, that was the difference maker. Once again here today was a composed, do your job, get it done. And that felt good to see for you, because we've seen you be young and now into this experienced guy who people are afraid of. So at any point, though, did you feel when people were like, he's not worth that much money? Did you have a moment throughout the season?
Definitely not season 2, week 2. It was like, I was like pretty down that week. It was my second week. I got like the 2 points from dropping out the third match. But yeah, that wasn't a great week, but you know, I came back on week 3. I got 2 DQs and choke, and I just kept getting better every week, and then last week I won.
You know, there's something to be said about just being in your lane and staying consistent, and obviously this is part of it. We haven't even gotten to the black belt, so for you, black belts are a culmination and the beginning of a new chapter. How would you summarize that first chapter of your book up until you got this black belt?
I mean, that's great. I definitely was not expecting it at all.
I saw your coach pull it out, and I was like, oh no, he's going to get a black belt right now. Yeah, that was awesome.
Yeah, it was definitely crazy. I mean, that's like kind of like before, like when you were a kid, you know, and before like you really start watching jiu-jitsu and really set your goals on, like for me at least, tournaments and stuff. It was like, I want to be a black belt. I want to be a black belt. I mean, that's kind of like what every kid strives for, and it's really cool to be that, like, we're like 7, 8 years later, you know.
Well, what an incredible night for you. You have this championship belt. It feels like one chapter ends there, too. What does the next chapter for Jett Thompson look like, sir?
Not 155.
We know that.
Yeah.
And you know what? Honestly,
Never again.
we need to have a chat about this now because it felt like the right side of the bracket was picking the best 170er to take on the best 155er.
Actually, yeah.
And you know what it felt like? It
That's
felt
what I
like
love
we
about
were
Jett.
putting a super fight together, like a super match that was like the UFC, whatever, they would have somebody move up a division for a
Yeah.
weight belt.
Yeah.
Because I was looking at it and go, naturally, this feels like these big boys are picking on these small boys. I mean, it's Dom Mejia, so
Yeah, I mean.
whatever. And it's Hoffa,
Yeah.
who's literally, if you break his limb, he's just going to grow one back, so he's fine.
Yeah.
But it did feel like there were so many narratives, so many crazy moments. And for us, it felt like this great series that you couldn't turn off. So we were very happy for you, and we love the fact that you got to shine on the haters who were just figuring out, like, when's he going to score? And honestly, let's be very real. Egg beat people in fantasy. We're not going to talk about it too much, but really, he just picked you.
Yeah.
That's it.
Your fantasy scores were off the
The
charts.
fantasy scores were incredible,
Yeah.
but like, Egg didn't do any work. You did all the work.
Yeah.
So you should be able to go to Egg and be like, hey, I need some money.
I need some of that.
Exactly.
I'm going to have to do that.
There we go. We don't
I like
actually make
that.
any money, but I want him to take money from Egg if we
Yeah.
can make that happen. So, Jett, what happens next? What's the next chapter for you, sir?
I guess I got UFC BJJ and I got ACC trials coming up. I got a bunch of stuff on my radar, and now that I won this, hopefully I got some more stuff on my radar.
You coming back? You're not 155. We've cleared that up, but you coming back to us again?
I hope so.
Okay. Because I know the New Hope Kings, for the team, it didn't fully go the way I'm sure they wanted it to go.
Mhm.
But I feel like you guys lucked out in ways that the other teams didn't get. You had an incredible team. You know, it was like so heartwarming to see Travis Thomas, who was your whole, like, your guy this whole time, literally there coaching you all the way to the finish. And I thought, like, dude, that is so cool to see that ownership from a GM care so much that he's like, nah, let's see this through. So I love seeing that, and I love see Kevin have your back. It was incredible to watch for that. So very proud of you. Let's do this. That is your camera right there, sir. Thank the people. Tell the people, whoever helped you make this happen, that thank your sponsors. It's all yours. Do it.
Hey, thank you to everybody who's helped me get here. Thank you to my parents, to my coaches, to PGF, to everybody who's helped me get here. Go buy my instructional on BJJ Fanatics.
Erupted.
Jett, you set a new standard here this year, and we're very happy for you. I'd be remiss if I didn't say you didn't deserve just a little care package from
Thank
your
you.
pal here. Very much love and appreciate you, young man. And I have to say, you know, when we talk about family here, you had your family with New Hope. You were essentially family for the PGF. It's been wonderful to grow with you. We feel like older brothers that get to see this young kid go out there and kill it. So your Theos are very proud of you. And congratulations, young man.
Hey,
Go
thank
enjoy
you
your
so
night,
much.
sir.
Nice job.
Thank you so
Ladies
much.
and gentlemen, the
Thank
winner
you
of the
guys.
PGF Season 8, Jett Thompson, everybody. Big round of applause. Look at this guy.
He's like, I got a goodie
I know.
bag. I got a black
He's
belt.
like, I keep getting shit all
got
night
a
long.
championship belt.
I got a sword.
Oh, that's right. You got a sword,
Got a
too.
sword.
That was a bad choice. I don't know
And
if
you got
giving the
cut?
kid
They
sword.
cut me with the sword.
Oh, did they? Oh, no!
Put that back up again.
They-
Oh, you got him.
The first thing they did is they
Eakin
gave me the
strikes
sword.
again.
and I had to coconut
Eakin is a
water.
menace.
Weapons
I'm telling you.
are a
he choked
bad
me.
choice for, like, dumb grown-ups who play pajama fight.
Yeah.
Terrible choices.
Yeah.
They should have gave us gold swords.
That 100% should have had the sheath on.
Harry Potter wands.
Jett,
Jett,
have a great
congrats,
rest of your
man.
night. We love you,
Thank you,
brother.
guys.
We'll see you later. All right, ladies and gentlemen, Jett Thompson.
Good job.
Allow us to go ahead and close things on out here for you guys. This has been incredible. This has been really fun to see. I think we should just start getting to last impressions. Like, where are you mentally? How did you feel about this? Do you feel like, what do you feel like right now, I guess is the question, from all of this crazy insanity, Tim?
I feel really good, and I'm happy for Jett Thompson. And you said earlier we're trying not to be partial. Of course, some of these guys, you've trained with, you've known over the years, and Jett is one of these guys who came in young. He came in as a kid, the PGF season 6, went on a terrific run, took Andy Varela all the way to the last minute, barely lost, and Varela's a beast, especially for a kid. I don't even know if he was 18 years old.
We can't prove it.
I think his dad had to sign a waiver just to get him in. He had to be taken out of school in order to be brought to the PGF. He comes back, it's season 8, goes number 1 in the draft, gets off to a slowish start. Admittedly, from him, says tonight, it kind of bugged me, but has the mental toughness and fortitude to drive forward and the self-confidence that he's going to see it through, ends up taking home the belt. Touched by that, man. Super stoked for Jett Thompson. Super stoked for these young guys. I think if anything, what season 8 proved is you don't need to be a star to become a star. And the PGF has become a terrific platform for jiu-jitsu athletes to showcase not just what they can do on the mats, but what they can do off the mat. So it's been a great, great season 8, man. Great stuff has happened. I feel like someone's shouting out my name, but I don't know if they're calling me out directly.
I don't know that it's yours, and I want to point this out. I feel like there's jiu-jitsu happening behind us, as if there wasn't enough jiu-jitsu happening throughout the week that has been here. It's Plaster versus Samson.
Battle of the cameraman.
Actually not a super good match.
Yeah.
Can I just say this? I feel like we told a lot of stories here. We had a lot of insane moments. But is there anything that sticks out to you from this season, Tim? You got different experiences. You were watching a lot from home. You were here for draft day like I was. But then you got to experience it all from the comfort of your home or while you were watching at your gym. Do you have any favorite moments from this season, sir?
I love the subs. I loved watching Derek Rayfield come in on week 2 and start crushing individuals right out of the gate. Derek came in and made a huge impact to his team. Dominic Mejia came in and made a huge impact to his team. And I think what it did is it demonstrated the ability to build out the drama and really pick all the meat off the bone by having an extended season. We saw the coaches play a much bigger role in the success of their teams. Everybody had great stuff to say about Drysdale. Hanato Canuto and his wife, Raquel, are here constantly. You hear them working with their athletes, advocating for their athletes. Andy Varela was here. He had Coach Casey Halstead in his corner. Mika was here. These guys are all putting in a very strong effort, and I think this season was the one where I really saw the coaches play a big difference. So I would say that was one of my main takeaways, man. And overall, it's a great event, Raph.
Tim, we had an incredible series of moments here today as I look like Bigfoot about to die. I have to tell you this. Like, my experience here in person, getting to know a lot of these young gentlemen has been incredible. We've hoped to be a fun and good influence, and we mentioned the family atmosphere, and we had so many family members telling us, as we're insulting their children, we love the show. And I thought, thank God, because there's a very bad alternate.
We did have a lot of parent interaction.
A ton, maybe slightly too much, because, again, it's when the parents say, like, hey, go after my kid, that I go, how far?
Yeah. Right.
It's all fun and games until someone has tears in their eyes. But I want to say this. I'm going to give you the chance to go ahead and close things on up here, Tim, from your perspective. Do you want to give any shout-outs or closing thoughts to this season, this incredible season 8 of the PGF, sir?
Yeah, man. I want to give a shout-out to you for carrying the flag, running with it week in and week out. I was only able to make it out here for the draft, but you got in the automobile and made the trek from the famous movie Swingers. Vegas, baby. LA to Vegas is one hell of a trip, and you made it week in and week out, and you carried the flag for the bullpen, and I do appreciate that. The crew here, Brandon and team, have put together a great group of people. It always feels like you're coming back home again when you step onto the set. You see the friendly faces, you see the familiar faces, and everybody is pulling for jiu-jitsu. So huge shout out to everybody involved in the production this year. It was a great season, Raph.
Thank you, Tim. And I have to tell you, there's a great pleasure in being able to do this live like we have done in the past in person. It is difficult to do because when you are separated by multiple weeks, it's not for lack of wanting to be here. It's just the space. But I feel like the two of us do some of our best work when we are in front of this audience, this group of people, these incredible people who we dearly, dearly love, even though they might be given those weapons. I'm going to actually look in the background and make sure that he has that
now they're
sheath.
holding weapons.
We want to make sure he clears the area with the weapon that he was given that was already nicking him on the finger. I don't want to be cut. I've been around too many Mexicans before at Raiders games. I'm not going to be stabbed here. All right. Let me go ahead and say this, Tim. Thank you very much for the kind words. And if you would be so kind, I will go ahead and close this on up before we call it a night. Thank you, Tim. Your incredible work. Always appreciated. Always a blast. Let's go ahead and start with this, guys. This has been a very, very considerably tough run. We put it out there that we were going to be traveling to Vegas multiple weeks. For your boy here, this is his 9th week in Vegas. So in and out, traveling back before and after the events. It is tiring, but I'm not the only one. Your directors, your Isaac, your Keelan, my boy Octavio behind this camera, all of us making as many treks as possible out here. And I don't know that you would do it for many other organizations. We do it here for the PGF because we truly do love and believe in the mission statement. And we are seeing professional grappling continue to get bigger and bigger. So what I wanted to leave you guys with here tonight is not only a sincere thank you to the extended family of all those people watching the PGF, but just this thought of appreciation for those who are behind the scenes that you don't even see. You see me and Tim. You don't always see the crew who right now get to finally have some fun before we have to break all this down in literally an hour. But we have such love and appreciation for every single individual, whether they came to watch in person, they shared this, they liked this, they supported it with their camera work or their time, their blood, their sweat, their tears. Thank you so much for believing in this. And as we get more and more options in the world of jiu-jitsu, you're going to find more reasons to like whatever jiu-jitsu you like. Some of it's going to become political. We hope not, but inherently some of it will as competition gets more and more intense. But we show up here because we love this, and we hope that you guys love it too. So we want to sign off for Season 8 by saying, on behalf of everybody here at the PGF, thank you for hanging with us. Come visit us at Grappling Hour and inside BJJ week in and week out, and then come find your boys at the Bullpen because our work doesn't stop here. So on behalf of all of us here, myself, Tim, everybody here at the show, our families, for understanding the crazy thing that we do, we just wanted to say thank you so much for all the love and appreciation. It has been an incredible season. We'll see you back for the next one. But until then, it's been a great day for grappling. We'll see you back on the mats.